My name is Alex Lewin. We're at the Cambridge School of Culinary Arts in Cambridge, Mass., and we're making lacto-fermented rutabagas. Rutabagas are also known as Swedes. They're a cross between a turnip and a cabbage. And there are a couple of different ways you can make it, but you always have to peel it first because you really don't want to eat that outside part. So I have my favorite kind of peeler, which is a star peeler from Switzerland, and peel off just anything that's not the color of something, anything that was in the ground, in the dirt. You can do this same thing with turnips. You can do it with parsnips, which is a favorite of mine. You could do it with radishes if you want. Any firm vegetable like this. So then we're done. It's pretty clean. Feed this to your pigs. So rule number one of cutting is you don't want something rolly on your board, so cut it in half, and now it won't roll anywhere. And so to cut something like this, I might do a cut like that, and then maybe I'll do some cuts like this. And you can cut it any way you want. On different days, I might cut it differently. So now we'll get these sort of wedges of it. And when it gets hard to cut, you flip it over and start cutting it this way. Now we have these. They're crispy like turnips. So now we're going to weigh it. And if you have a scale with a gram resolution on it, it's good. Because, as you will see, we need to calculate the amount of salt to use. And that's by far easier when you can do it in the metric system. So we have 317 grams, and we want 2% salt. So 1% of 300 grams would be 3 grams, so 2% will be 6 grams. So take that off, I'll zero the scale, and 6 grams of salt. Which isn't very much. I mean, it's that whole rutabaga, and we have not a whole lot of salt. So we'll add the salt to the bowl, then we'll start mushing it up a little bit. And the salt will draw some of the liquid out of the rutabagas. When you do this with cabbage, the liquid comes out a little more quickly. Here, it might not come out immediately. So we're going to go ahead and pack them into a jar. It's a regular pint ball jar, a wide mouth. Wide mouth is important because we're going to need to pack it down. And just put it in the jar. They have softened up a lot, though. The salt is starting to work on them. And I like to use a smaller jar to pack down with, so you can see. And that's going to start some of the liquid going. I don't know if you can see some liquid coming out there. Just finish off our rutabaga here. Give it another push. There's some liquid at the bottom, you can see. So now, got our rutabaga all packed into the jar, and just going to put a lid on it and let it sit. And we'll come back to it every day or so, and we'll pack it down. And if after the end of 2 days the liquid hasn't risen to cover the top of it, then we should add a brine solution, 2% salt. So that works out to a cup of water, teaspoon of salt. We'll just add it until it covers the top of the rutabagas. And if you don't do that, they can turn brown. They could even spoil, though it's unlikely. But what you'll get after a week or so is a nice crunchy pickled vegetable. And this would be great to put as a side dish with maybe some meats, maybe some fish. You could even put some in, turn it into a relish. You could put some in a salad. Smoked fish. I'll go with smoked fish.